Section 9.1 is on the midpoint and distance formulas, and you'll probably remember these from geometry. The midpoint formula, the midpoint of segment PQ with point P at x1, y1 and point Q at x2, y2 is given by the point, and often we call it M, x1 plus y1 divided by 2, comma y1 plus y2 divided by 2. This is an ordered pair. This is the x-coordinate, this is the y-coordinate, and what you'll notice is that it is the averages of the coordinates of the endpoints. Add the x's, divide by 2, add the y's, divide by 2, and that gives you the x and the y of your midpoint. Let's take a look at an example. Find the midpoint of the segment that has endpoints negative 5.3, comma negative 8.6, and negative 18.7, comma 1. So the midpoint is going to be my x's added together. Well, plus a negative, and just do a minus. Okay, over 2. That's the x-coordinate of the midpoint. And then the y-coordinate of the midpoint, negative 8.6, plus 1 over 2. And when I calculate that out, add these two numbers, divide by 2, I get negative 12. And add these two numbers and divide by 2, I get a negative 3.8. So the midpoint of that segment is negative 12, comma negative 3.8. The distance formula is given by the following formula. The distance between points x1, y1 and x2, y2 is the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So in other words, subtract your x's and square it. Subtract your y's in the same order, square it. Add those two together and take the square root. And if you'll remember from geometry, this is based on the Pythagorean theorem. So let's give this example a try here. Find the distance between negative 6, negative 7, and 11, negative 12. So I'm going to subtract my x's, and it doesn't really matter what order I do it in. Just do it the same for both the x's and the y's. So I'll do 11 minus negative 6 squared plus negative 12 minus negative 7 squared. Okay. And this becomes a plus, and this becomes a plus, so I have the square root of 17 squared plus negative 5 squared which is the square root of 289 plus 25 or the square root of 314, which is approximately equal to 17.72. So in this section, we talked about the distance and midpoint formulas. Make sure you memorize the midpoint formula. Add the x's, divide by 2, add the y's, divide by 2, and that gives you the ordered pair that is the midpoint. Distance formula, make sure you memorize this one as well. The square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared.